4 out of 5s mean the same thing. The way we had it is the first question lumped all of those causes together, and then the other 4 choices were basically kind of the definition for each one of them. So to get a 4 out of 5, that means you had to either get all 4 of the definition questions correct, or 3 of the definitions correct, but the other one was being able to identify
Holding kids to the standard that all students are achieving, and looking at growth of the student rather than looking at a percent.
That's the key. That's the hardest part of all this. Once you do all this, you give the test, you break them into groups, you go through your strategies. The kids are getting their differentiated instruction according to need. Once you put that all in place, and you're getting all the information from it, then what do we do? How do we put that into the next cycle?
Yeah, I have mostly math errors, not like process errors, just math errors.
I agree.
Agree.
I was impressed. It was fun.
Well, one will be subtraction. Every place value is regrouping. So let's go ahead and just do one. Just pick one place value to regroup. That way I would say 1 or 2, just for the sake of otherwise there's a myriad of wrong answers. All right.
I'm leading them in just about every question. We're doing every question together on the whiteboard. We're highlighting the place value. We're drawing the arrow behind. At the top of the page, we're writing the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 stays, the 5, 6, 7, 8, and a big arrow so they know the we're really leading them, guiding them.
No kids that aren't quite getting the concept. So what's going to be our next?
Well, those are also the kids that we are targeting and keeping the data on for that before school tutoring this year.
And
so,
targeted remediation.
Yeah.
And sometimes just, if it's they're done 5 minutes early with something, I have them get on their Chromebook on the IXL and practice that skill.
Maybe we should focus on the strategies first before we focus on, right, which we have. So
I think that's a great idea.
I do
The
too.
bulk of your time, if you spend on the strategies, it's going to be
So I
well worth it.
put some down here, add 3
Yep.
numbers, make it 10, near doubles, missing add-ins, write a word problem. So that's 5.
Okay.
So, made a little graphic organizer with character traits for the 2 main characters, Heather and Risa, and they just have to go through and pull thoughts that were said in the mind, dialogue words that were said out loud, and write them in on the sheet, and then kind of go through like what feelings does the character have, what are actions through the story, so that they're going through this character analysis.
Yeah,
And
so
then
you have the pile right there, right?
Right.
You could take that pile, and as a group, we could sort that pile, right? We could say these kids can measure, these kids know units, these kids know both.
Next step for us is to walk. We're going to go through this formative, figure out what exactly we want them to know from this formative. Be clear on what the theme is, what keywords, is it friendship, is it perseverance, and then be clear on that so we're all happy.
If we're that clear that you could say to Emily, take this pile, sort them by those who measure correctly at 2 decimal places, those who did units correctly, and those who don't.
These are all out of 4 points whenever I do them, and model them after AP free response questions, which are also on a 4-point scale. And the AP rubrics use an EPI system where E stands for essentially correct, P stands for partially correct, and I stands for incorrect. So each one of these skills, they get an EP or an I based on, and I communicate to them. We do a practice quiz the day before, and we go through, this is what you need to do to get an E, this is what you need to do to
So
get
what
a
we
C.
did for our intervention, if they did not, is we identify those kids, and since it was done on the spot, we could remediate in the next class. We had an activity that was enrichment right following that, so everybody was going to get enrichment. It was just a matter of when you started it. So the kids who got a 3 out of 5 or less, we identified them. Maya pulled them out to her room. We retaught the lesson. We went over it. We did a simulation before, and then we did kind of a notes worksheet activity, and went through all of that again.
So 94 actually took the quiz, and 68 met the proficiency level of 3 or higher, which is 72% of the students. And 26 of them, which is 27% of the students, did not get a score of 3 or higher. Out of the 26 kids that retook, 22 of them met proficiency. They were able to get a score of 3 or better.
You would have to use the lunch and learn to say, like, okay, everyone that needs help with tone is going to Monica. Everyone that needs help with theme is going to Colleen. Everyone that needs help with, plot elements is coming to me. So
what about approaching? The student accurately writes the main idea with none or one supporting detail. And then below, this is what we had last time. Okay. The student needs much help and has partial understanding of writing the main idea and supporting detail.
Today we need to find 4 details. So you need to go back into the story and find another detail of Petey being mischievous.
So far this week, we've been talking about main idea and details, and we've been reading a bunch of informational texts, just little articles, and practicing going back into the text and highlighting and identifying what the main idea is, and then pulling out some details from those articles. And we're going to first talk about the main idea of this article before we start reading it. And then I'm going to get your help to identify the supporting details.
All right, now what I want you to do with your partner for the next 2 paragraphs. Together, I want you to read the paragraph, identify which one of the sentences is the main idea, and then with your partner, go back and highlight only the details that support the main idea. If it is a detail just about the topic, leave it alone. If it is a detail that supports the main idea, you and your partner can
For E&I this week, we have been working on main idea, right? So your goal this week was to create a topic that you really know something about, something that's interesting to you. And then you had to then create a main idea based on that topic. So some of you wanted to tell me about the solar system. That's your topic. Some of you wanted to tell me about a healthy body. That's your topic. That's me. But then on your own, you created the main idea. And then what was your task after that? You had to think of at least 3 details that support your main idea. So after you wrote your details down, what are you creating? A book or a poster? And tomorrow, after we finish these, we can exchange with a friend, and they should be able to figure out what your main idea is from your poster or from your book. So once you completed that, you can go back and add some more details. You can elaborate on them, but it all should have be around your main idea. So all of the details should support your main idea.